And we're starting. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream.
Hi, everybody.
Just looking for... Oh yeah.
Oh, James, I think you put in the wrong game.
What are you talking about?
There are violent and disturbing images in this game. Oh no. We have to
Uh,
turn back now.
we'll be fine. It's
Yeah, we'll be
fine.
fine. They always exaggerate that.
Okay, actually you gotta grab the link.
Yeah, it's fine. Got it. There. I'm ahead of you.
Ah, jeez.
Haha.
Yeah, I got the at.
Okay. Anyway. So as ever, I'm Mary the Rabbit.
James.
Kitty will be along at some point. And of course, YouTube is once again doing this. Oh, we notice you're using an ad blocker pop up.
They haven't been doing that for me for a while now.
Yeah, they keep rolling out new versions of it to try and catch people, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop using an ad blocker.
If anything, that encourages me.
Yeah. Because I've seen what YouTube is like without one.
It's hell.
Ah, yeah.
It's a hell of meerkats and other stuff.
Yep. It's just constant interruptions to everything, and it's frustrating as hell because, like, even if I didn't have ADHD and just kept losing track of everything I'm doing, because it's like, oh, I can't do this thing for another 5 minutes because there's ads. Yeah, it's annoying, it's intrusive, and I'm so used to banner ads, you know, that have click here to download a virus, basically.
Christ. Those were better.
Yeah, I grew up with the internet back in the late 90s.
Although there
I
are
saw, like, that goodwill has been burned.
there were also a bunch of just pop-ups that just took up your screen very suddenly. That was also a horror show.
Speaking of horror shows, here's Silent Hill. This is the original one for the PS1.
Yep.
Those pre-rendered cutscenes.
Yep. You gonna... Okay. Thankfully, I should be able to see YouTube and the thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I played through this game several times, so I don't really need a guide.
Aha.
Oh, there's the violent and disturbing scene that the intro warned us about. Let's look at our options.
Yeti.
Yowdy.
Hi.
Action here.
I can't believe we're here in Pumpkin Hills. You ready? God. You know what? Sorry, this time another server. I'm in. I think several are in, but I'm still bewildered of seeing in the wilds an Akane Basher in the year of our Lord, 2023, and it's like this isn't even the Rama server. Like, why is this happening? And, if you don't know, Akane is the kind of one of the love interests, kind of in Rama one half, and like, especially due to back in the day, it was harder to actually watch anime or like get your hands on manga. A lot of people read like summaries or whatever, and like because of that, for Rama one half, several characters had like wild like characterizations that you'll find in like
Oh, yeah.
old fanfic and whatnot.
Over exaggerating like specific aspects of them that are only like a tiny part of them as a character in the actual thing.
Oh yeah. So and yeah, especially since the anime kind of exaggerated some parts of the manga already. So it's just kind of funny to see that like out in the wilds in a non-Rama server.
I mean, we're gonna start seeing that again now that we've hit this weird culture of, oh, I'm just going to read a summary of a thing and then get invested in the fandom. Because I actually do see that in fandoms that I write for, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I've been through that.
people have commented on my Your Turn to Die fix and made it very clear they've never actually played the game.
Oh no.
And I'm like, what do you think the game is about?
TV Tropes has done that to me, basically.
Yeah, TV Tropes really does. Listen, for TV Tropes, you never read the trope page before you watch something, or you're going to end up like that.
Yeah. In fact, just don't read TV Tropes.
You can,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it can
for
be
sure.
helpful finding things, but also people on TV Tropes have zero media literacy.
Absolutely, and also they can make some interesting stuff really boring.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well,
Footsteps. This game does have voice acting.
Yeah, like, Silent Hill was very technically impressive for when it was released.
Oh yeah.
Like, this was mind-blowing back in the PS1.
Oh, there was some voice acting.
Yep. Instead of us having to voice act all of these characters.
And you talked over it again.
Stop.
He's telling you to stop, Mary.
hey now.
Yeah, I'll just shut up forever now.
Okay, that's enough of that. I don't have the map for this place.
Nice.
Yeah.
God. Brian. Week's been a week, but I'm glad to be here with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
I
having a
had
day.
multiple reasons to drop out the previous stream. Why did you think it was a good idea to play the game with the like 4-hour single looping tile section?
The guide said I could do it in 5 minutes. God damn it.
No, you couldn't. You
That's-
very
I
much
mean-
could not.
That's the last time I trust Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like no, it's like oh, if like you know, I honestly probably would have thought the same of like oh wait, like okay, this neat little tips and tricks tells me I can. Also, these Dutch angles are fucking
Yeah.
sublime.
Lakitu is really going wild for the camera here.
It's always Lakitu in every video game.
Yeah, you just usually don't see him.
He's that good.
I love that Mario.
Sorry.
Oh, you first.
No, please stop.
I love that Mario 64 introduced that, and then no other Mario games like addressed it ever again.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what, you can control the camera, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, there's some blood,
What is this?
and that's his
What's
catchphrase.
going on here?
That's also his catchphrase.
what's this? What's this? There's red stuff all around. What's this? There's blood all over the ground.
Anyway, children. Ah! Don't bite me
Yeah.
there.
How many 10-year-olds could you take in a fight?
Not this many.
Skill issue.
Block by offense. Oh, crap. Oh, ow. Oh, God. Stop biting me.
They're stabbing you.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm alright, I guess.
Glad to hear it. You from around here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist. I came here for a vacation. I just got here. I don't know what happened. I'd like to find out myself. Have you seen a little girl? Just turned 7 last month. Short, black hair. My daughter.
Sorry. The only person I've seen in this town is you.
Where is everybody?
I'd tell you if I knew, believe me. But from what I can tell, something bizarre is going on. That's all I know. What's your name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over. The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
In that case, I need to find her now. Cheryl's my little girl. I can't just leave her out there by herself.
Have you got a gun?
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Before you pull the trigger, know who you're shooting. And don't do it unless you have to. And don't go blasting me by mistake. Got it?
Yeah, thanks.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah. We got to meet Sybil. I forgot it was this early when we meet her.
Time for the pinball minigame.
Hooray!
Nothing unusual. And this? Someday someone may experience these bizarre events. Hopefully they'll find my notes useful. This is the save point.
Nice. I forgot it was notes. Because I mostly think about the second game's save prompt.
Oh yeah, this says study, damn it!
God.
Yeah. Reminds me of school.
Yeah?
Fuck your mental health, do the work!
Yep.
Yeah.
Health drink. Flashlight. Residential area map. And we can zoom in.
Oh boy. PS1 Revolution, baby.
Whoa, what was that?
Don't worry about it. It's like a bird.
Don't worry about it. I'm playing
well-
on peaceful mode.
Oh, also. Notice the names of the streets.
Finney Street, Bachman, Block? Elroy, Midwich, Levin, and Broadberry.
They're like all the names of authors.
Ah.
Yep, there's Ray Bradbury.
Oh yeah, that makes
That's one of
sense.
them.
God, that's funny. How did I not notice that? I actually
I
found
mean,
my old.
In
copy of,
fairness, they're just last names.
yeah.
You wouldn't notice that unless you knew enough of them to go, oh, that's the theme here.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, I recently refound my old copy of Fahrenheit 451 paperback.
Yeah.
It's broken? Can't hear anything.
You know what? Speaking of Fahrenheit 451, I remember, like, at the end of the book, like, there's some notes, or maybe the foreword. I forget where. It's probably the foreword. There's a part where it's like he's talking about, you know, how he like wrote it and adapted it, or no, how he wrote it. Like he had to go to the library, and use the typewriters there or whatever.
Yeah.
And he found that really funny, just internally, of writing a book where people burned down. Oh,
What's that?
what's that?
Huh. Radio. What's going on with that radio?
One of those memed on lines. Oh boy. I have to use it, Sybil!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done with confirmation prompt.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
Man, you're gonna take that radio with you when it summons pterodactyls?
Emit static when monsters are near. One thing
Sure.
that
Sorry.
the first game does that later games don't is that the radio makes different noises for different monsters.
Oh, that's cool. Shame the other games don't do that then.
Yeah. It's subtle, but it's there. Also, is there an option for always run?
Uh,
No?
No, there's an option for always walk, though.
yeah. Okay, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, to finish up the 451 thing.
Yeah.
It was, he found it funny of like, oh,
Where could Cheryl's gone? Guess I'll check that alley again.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
God,
He
zoom
might
in.
have shown up there in the 5 minutes since we were stuck there and dying.
yeah. But yeah, he thought it was funny to be in a library writing about a story, a dystopian future where people like burn all books. And also, there's like, he watched a play based on this story, where it's like the fire chief, because in the setting, firefighters, they're firemen, they
Yeah, the
set fires to
firemen
books.
are the men who set fires to burn books.
In the play, it's like the fire chief actually has like his own private collection of books, and like the protagonist, I forget his name, is like in dismay. It's like what are you doing? Like why do you have this? And he's like, you see, it's illegal to read books, but there's nothing in the law saying it's illegal to just own them, right? And this big twist or whatever, and like him just saying like, damn, I wish I put that in the book. Like that's good actually.
Yeah, because a lot of the people calling for book bannings are people who keep their own private collections of all of these books to go, well, actually, yes, I need this so I can look at this to remind myself of how bad it is. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
god, that
the
jump.
dog. Can you pet the dog?
No!
The dog can pet you.
I wouldn't call it that. God, look at it, how that gun looks.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, in writing Fahrenheit 451, he called up someone, I can't remember where, like I can't even remember who it is that he called to ask this is, hey, what temperature do books burn at? I don't know, I'll get back to you. Hangs up, leaves, burns a book. Fahrenheit 451.
Goodness. God. Amazing. Absolutely bewildering behavior. And sorry for being really quiet. I'm feeling a bit under the weather. But still wanted to hang out and chill with y'all. Just gonna have to remind myself to speak louder to make up for that.
Alright, kids, I've got a gun now. Hey, bullets.
All the little kids in the pumped up kicks better run, better
Oh yeah, I remember that.
outrun my bullets.
To school. No!
Is it the sheriff? She's at the school.
Oh yeah, it is school hours. Technically, we didn't need to come here. We could have just skipped this whole area.
Oh, neat.
The picture. It's me. Sure.
What? Sure.
And there's a steel pipe. An infinitely more useful weapon than the knife.
Oh, absolutely. It is a mainstay throughout the main, the main 4 Silent Hill games. Of just, God, I actually remember someone I used to watch stream it, like, just started calling it the metal pipe, because it's just like, yeah, you can basically use that thing all the way into the end game of just hit things with a pipe. It tends to do pretty well for such a long time that it's like, hell yeah, metal pipe, let's go.
Yeah, this is pretty much gonna be my go-to until we get an upgrade later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's so good. Great, what was I about to say? Oh yes, something, imagine, RPG, it's set in modern day or whatever, and instead of, like, clubs, it's like, well, like, just, like, gotta run around with your
Instead
baseball
of a
bat with
cypress
spikes in it.
stick, you get a lead pipe.
Or a lead pipe. I mean, I'd go with a lead pipe.
Bonk.
It's sturdy as hell.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to use it for piping, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Get over here.
No, speaking of that, I remember thinking about zombies kind of recently, and also this thing's so goofy. But also just like in Dead Rising 1, like the best place to be at for like to defend yourself against like zombies was just the DIY slash like the home, like the power. Great, what's the term for that? Like type of store, like home improvement, or like where they have the power tools and construction equipment and all that. So
Hardware.
Get, like, the salt hardware store. Thank you.
Hardware store.
Because you get like the
Dun,
the
dun,
metal
dun,
pipes,
dun, 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 dun,
you
dun,
get
dun, dun,
the salt, you get everything. It's so good.
dun. I can't wait. No, I can't wait. When are they gonna open up that door? Hardware store.
Ack.
Weird Owl. There we go.
Oh, positioning is bad.
Yeah,
Just dump that in music chat.
I can't believe this is the Dark Souls of survival horror. The little kick.
Oh, that's bad. And this is an item.
Huh.
Yeah.
And there's my car.
Oh.
Too banged up to drive. Hey. Well, I needed that at least. Getting out might be a bit of a problem. Oh boy. Nope, no, go away. Ugh. So notice that the static from the radio is high-pitched when these, bird things appear. And that's some crackly static. Oh. I guess it's not always high-pitched.
Oh.
Huh. But yeah, it's a high-pitched ringing normally when those birds appear.
You're listening to Silent Hill FM. Nothing but high-pitched crackling noises all day, every day.
Oh, good.
Up next, Imagine Dragons.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that fucking meme, and it kills me every time. Like, yeah, har har. This ain't your land-loving granny's radio station. This is Pirate.fm. And then, like, then just like Imagine Dragons starts playing. And it's like, yeah.
Radioactive. I know I've info dumped about the Spider-Man musical that led to the creation of that song.
Yeah, which is still hilarious.
Yeah.
God. The whole musical was wild because of everything that happened in it and around it.
Yeah, it wasn't a good musical. Like, there's only one song in it that I would say even counts as good. But, like, it was infamously like a quote-unquote cursed production, and it's mostly just because they made some utterly insane decisions surrounding it. Say what you will, though, A Freak Like Me Needs Company is still a banger.
I mean, that's one hell of a title, just by itself.
Yeah, it's the Green Goblin's villain song that they only added in a later version of the show. After they bumped him up to, like, lead villain status instead of the whole thing with Arachne. And so he got a villain song in the process, and it was really good, even if none of the lyrics are actually about doing crime or anything. So it sounds like after his wife dies, he just became really gay.
God. That's really funny.
Okay, I think the different noises are for how many enemies you're facing, not which enemy specifically. Oof. Don't know if that does damage.
Oh, did you know you could do a gay little hop?
Oh yeah, the dodge. I did it earlier
good.
actually, but it was far away from the camera, so wasn't really visible.
Yeah, I love the gay little hop that Harry does. It's so good.
It has to be like exact timing or something. Okay, still on yellowish. Nope. No home invasion here.
Nice.
Yeah, these early games enemies are annoying.
They heard you talking shit.
And they broke the bridge.
And
Oh
they
no,
broke
a
the bridge.
broken bridge. Well, hopefully this will be fixed at some point in the game.
This isn't Final Fantasy. Broken cop car.
All cops are broken.
Yeah. Key of Lion.
Oh yeah. That's dope as hell.
Yeah, I unintentionally did main quest stuff. I think it's dead. Okay.
I can't believe this is a speedrun now.
It's not. I would have done the stuff already. Would have ignored the Cheryl picture book stuff.
God.
You'd abandon your daughter?
Well, no. It's just we
I
wouldn't
know.
have.
It's not a clue that you need.
Yeah. God, sorry. I'm just now reminded of Fallout 4 just because of that. Of just, abandoning your daughter. But in Fallout 4, yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Because it's like such, such a weird decision of like, oh yeah, we're gonna define your history as you were either a prosecutor during, in this, fictional setting, like the most fascist time in the United States government before it gets dissolved by global nuclear war, right? Or you were a soldier who served in wars for the most, like, the fascist, and militaristic the United States has ever been before it gets destroyed in global nuclear war.
Why
setting.
couldn't? Why
And
couldn't?
it's like, go ahead.
Why couldn't they both have been soldiers?
You know what? That would have made more sense, especially with sort of,
Yeah.
like, having the skills to like make it in the wasteland or whatever. Because I know, like, any history about being a prosecutor, probably, getting people sent to like internment camps or whatever. Never
That
gets
guy
brought
was-
up.
That guy was just standing
Stands.
there.
Absolutely stands.
Yeah, Fallout 4 isn't exactly known for having a good story that anyone cares about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still funny
And
to
it starts right off the bat with the characters that you are presented, which people mostly just ignore.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'll
It's not
gi-
like
Okay. I'll give Starfield 1 point. It lets you pick your backstory.
That's so sad. That's most RPGs now.
Yeah.
Like that, they just let you do that. That said, I'm docking minus 50 points from Starfield because I know for a fact in that game you get basically superpowers, like in Skyrim and the Dragon Shouts, except it takes about like 10 hours or so, give or take, to finally get to any of them, which is buck wild.
listen, I'm gonna say minus 49 is still the highest score it has anywhere.
Yeah, and now I've seen one person give a review of it and just like, listing several problems they have and just various things, listing some missions that they are like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, and basically the final review is mid out of 10 of just like, there's a lot of things I have problems with this game, but I struggle to put it down. So, like, they did something. Like, it's just sort of there, but yeah, no, just Fallout 4 is really bewildering.
Dog's head.
Well,
He
sure, we'll explore it in great detail when we start streaming Fallout 4.
Nah.
We're never going to stream Fallout 4.
Probably not. But this dog got dunked on, so.
This dog did get dunked on. Severely, even.
Got him.
God. Sorry, I just imagine us streaming Fallout 3. And just
Fallout 3 is mostly good. Like, there's bits that aren't as good as, like, obviously it does not hold a candle to New Vegas. But it's okay.
yeah, it's honestly pretty
Aside from
good.
when you get to the ending and realize, wait, none of this mattered.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that said, at least you know what? It's dumb, but at least it makes more sense than. Sorry to go back to Fallout 4, but I'm still thinking about the fucking the biggest faction that the linchpin to the entire story, you know, the Institute with their super science or whatever, and they have no motivation. They sort of
Yeah,
do
their
things.
goals are just, do science, I guess.
Yeah, just do science. Like, I once had an idea of, like, no, what if they were, like, the game goes through so much effort to tell you, oh, they're so far and above advanced, even more than the pre-war technology, but yet they're just fucking around in Boston. Like, we just want to kill Bostonians. We just want to fuck with Bostonians, actually. I had an idea of, like, no, what if they were actually, like, just above everything, and, like, the only influence you see of them in Boston is just by accident, or just, like, someone was curious, you know, like, an idea of, like, oh, you know, oh no, there's these weird robots among us. It's very
Among
sus.
Us reference, sus.
Sus. And it's like, but, you know, it turns out that, oh, they only had that because they were kind of curious what the hell was going on in Boston after they left. I would just, you know, what if they were, like, had a fucking space station or something? Like, they were actually just beyond anything happening in Boston, and, like, any influence they have is just incidental. Like, what if they sent, like, some
Yeah,
robots down there, they get discovered as being robots, and people flip out, and then they're like, okay, we're just gonna hide, you know, lay low until we can eventually get people back, and then, you know, like, years later, like, oh no, people are going missing, it has to be because of this institute, and it's just like, those were the people that were sent down there, they're just going back home. Like, but, you know, just, you know, like, that'd be a fun twist of it. It's like, oh, you know, this big boogeyman that barely, hey guy.
just hanging out there.
Just
Hang on, give me
there.
a second to get my lead tight.
This is a horror game, right?
Yes, this is a horror game. To be fair,
Yeah.
you remember this, you know, the PS1 era, you know, so everything would have been more scary back then.
Yeah.
But even then, this is, oh
Yeah,
God.
basically every idea I've seen to make the Institute, like, compelling as an antagonist, or to make them even make sense as a faction, completely changes what the Institute is, because they don't make any sense.
They really don't. They just sort of do shit because someone in the writing room was like, "Hey, Snatchers was a really cool game. What if we did that and then didn't do anything with it? Like, at least in Snatchers, the guy wants to take over the world with his fucking Snatchers, with his, like, you know,
Yeah.
they kidnap people.
Hey
and replace
guys,
them with
remember Blade
replicants.
Runner? Remember that one
Remember?
storyline we did in Fallout 3? It was Blade Runner? Let's do a whole game of that. It's like, it doesn't make any sense though.
I mean, that's the thing. They didn't do a whole game of that because it isn't given enough focus to be a
Yeah,
whole
it
game
really
or
isn't.
story. So it's just sort of partially there, and then also we're using them as allegory for, like, race because we're explicitly mentioning
The Underground
Railroad,
Railroad, yeah.
which is, like,
Very
if they had
Detroit
more.
become human of them.
Yeah, that said, I think it could have done something with that if it was actually more of a focus, if they actually, like, developed that story a bit more, and, like, I don't know, the motivations of the fucking institute for making robot people, other than, lol. Like, who can? It's so, God.
Queen Burger.
That's the place that, there's where
They'll
they really
never
put the
catch
estrogen in the
catch
burgers.
that code. Sorry. I'm tripping over words today. They'll never crack that code, I think I was trying to say.
Yeah.
God. As I've mentioned, I've had a weird week. It's kind of left my brain completely wrecked today. Like, I've visited Pyro down at the stall that he does for, like, the socialism newspaper thing. And he went, "Oh, do you want to try helping out?" And I'm like, "Listen, I am barely able to string 2 words together."
Yeah. Goodness.
Yeah.
That's the idea of helping out with it. Socialism.
Oh yeah, I'm
That
planning on
sounds
helping
good.
out with that instead of just going to the meetings, you know?
Yeah.
It's just I am definitely not in a state of mind where I could sell newspapers.
Oh yeah. Very understood.
Blue Bell.
Nice. Let's get some ice cream. Sorry, I was just thinking about like, no, I should talk more about like not Fallout, Silent Hill and like Silent Hill things. But my brain went to, man, doesn't it suck that they, like, we're kind of jumping the gun here, but it kind of sucks that Pyramid Head gets added to so many things when in Silent Hill 2 he's very specifically tied to the main character, James, not our James, but you understand. And it's like, so it's like after you see either play that game or see an LP of that game, instead of being, oh, funny little horror man, you're like, he shouldn't be in here.
Yeah,
Like,
he is very specifically one person's issues made manifest, you know?
oh yeah.
I watched a playthrough of Homecoming, and like everyone says that he should be there, and he's really only there for like 10 seconds.
God.
Like, yeah, he wasn't meant, he shouldn't have been there, but he's also not really there.
Yeah.
And like, it could have just removed like the scenes with him, and no one would have cared, no one would have noticed, really. Well, okay, there is one kind of important scene he's part of, but that could have been done another way. Fuck off.
Man, God, that's funny. It's a bit funny to hear that he's only there for like 10 seconds. God knows.
Fresh roasted coffee
Oh,
will be
yeah.
my salvation.
Harry says while brandishing his pipe.
Bonk.
Love the little jaguar sounds they make.
There are ones in 4 that are more explicitly Jaguar sounds.
Oh, nice.
What's interesting about 4 is that it is on GOG. No other Silent Hill game but 4. But yeah. Steam does have Homecoming, but that's it. They do have a listing for the remake, but... oh god, that's... That's gonna be a whole thing. Whole completely terrible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. Speaking of that, I still remember watching Voidburger do an LP of Silent Hill 2 and explicitly mentioned she was playing it on emulator because the remake Konami did was just really awful. Like a lot of the text was just Comic Sans. Some of the textures didn't. A lot of the textures were weird. And I think I mentioned this before on a way earlier stream, but they didn't keep the original files for the Silent Hill games.
Oh, that happens with so many old games.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the reason why. So, all of the Infinity Engine games, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, like those. I think Planescape got a expanded edition, but like all of the other ones did, except Icewind Dale 2, because nobody kept the code for it. So they don't have any of the code, they don't have any of the art assets. They would be starting from scratch in making a remake of it, and they just don't want to because it would be expensive. But they can just churn out as much Baldur's Gate 2 content as they want.
God.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 did not keep the code for that, which was awkward
Really?
when they had to make the final mix version.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I knew the final mix came out in Japan some years after the first game came out.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't that long. Like it took us a while in the West to get it, but in Japan, I knew it came out only a few years later. So it's that's absolutely stunning to learn that they didn't, huh? Because I know for the case of Konami, back in the day, digital storage was pretty expensive. So they're like, oh, we'll just keep, the source code and print it out. For the
We'll
game,
just keep a
that'll be
giant
fine.
stack of paper with the
Mhm.
source code on it. Ah.
It's it'll be fine. And then time for the remake, and it's oh.
Or we'll just keep the code somewhere. It doesn't matter where the assets are, we've got them in our archives, and then they don't know where any of them are. And then you end
Yeah.
up with, there's the whole, the mega leak of, N64 codes that came at some point a few
Yeah.
years back, which is where a lot of what we know about Mario 64's development comes from. Hence that being on my mind lately, what with the whole, well, a lot of creepypasta stuff that ends up linked here. And iceberg things, because, every copy of Mario 64 is personalized.
Of course.
There's
Good.
famously a lot of stuff that has leaked that was in the game and was cut for various reasons.
Yeah.
L ended up
Like-
being real.
Yep. It's a bit funny. I mean, they had all those files, but I remember again a few years back, for a Super Mario World theme park or whatever, there was one of the cactuses or some other palm tree or something that was around was actually based off of someone's fan art. and it's like I remember watching it, learning about that from Loading Ready Runs checkpoint show that they do, and just kind of talking about like, hey, sometimes in a company, hell, even in our company, you have like an asset. It's somewhere, no one knows where. Like if someone like has to make you know a, a merchandise with our logo on it, like it's we have the files for it. We don't know, but on hand, no one really knows where exactly it is. It's just somewhere. So it's like, yeah, even if you work at Nintendo making like official licensed Nintendo art, you're like, hey, how do the cacti or palm trees or whatever in X Super Mario or whatever like Super Mario game, like what do they even look like? And it's like, I don't know. Like, do we have like concept art, anything of those? Like, somewhere. It's somewhere, and it's just wild how that happens. That said, I do also remember that leak did have, unfortunately, some like employee information tied to it, which not so great. But it did appreciate that we also got Star Fox 2 from it. I think like before like the original version of it at least. But I know it also got released on the stupid little emulator thing. What was it? The the little
Yeah,
Super
Nintendo
Nintendo?
Mini, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
SE.
thing that
Yeah.
sold out because they knew
It's weird.
people were gonna go nuts over it for nostalgia, and they only made an incredibly tiny amount of them.
Because Nintendo is basically Disney.
Yeah, they kind of they run themselves like a toy company sometimes. Like just building a pipe and trying to get people to go after it, and then also
Yeah.
leading to a lot of scalpers.
Yeah, God, the Pikachu Van Gogh tie-in thing, that art gallery or whatever, that was 100% just scalpers showing up and trying to buy up every copy.
God, of course, hate it.
Fish and fries.
No, are there places in the U.S. that sell fish and chips or fries in this case?
I don't know if there's specific ones.
I feel like there has to be, right? Like, because there's settlers from England. I feel like someone would have brought that over. That said,
It's
it's not
not
really
terribly hard
commonplace.
to make either. You just
Yeah,
need, again, potatoes, fish, and that's like
I guess.
everything else you can just make.
Yeah,
It's
You,
making batter for the fish, you know?
yeah. It's just weird because even in places where they eat a lot of fish, I've never seen one in the U.S. They're just driving down the street and it's like, oh, fish and chips or fish and fries or whatever, as we would probably call it here.
It's wild that America, uh, from what I can gather, does not have chip shops in any sense.
I mean,
Like, you have fast food, but you don't have, like, that specific kind of chippy, you know?
yeah.
Come to Britain, where there's one on every street.
Uh,
Oh, not quite. I'm kind of more inland than usual here, so the closer you are to the coast, the higher the chance you have of finding them, you know?
oh yeah, I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that said, to be honest, I'm not actually the biggest fan of fish. Still something I need to try to get more used to.
Yes, same.
Because,
Well,
like, I can eat a lot more food now, but I was quite the picky eater growing up,
Ah,
probably because of
fuck.
the autism. But I kind of learned to appreciate more food, and also my dad was a jerk. But I don't want to get into that on stream. But yeah, I was kind of like pressured into eating food I didn't really like, but I grew to appreciate some of those things though. But yeah, no, fish is something I still don't really like eating. I'd probably eat it like I probably could eat more like fried fish more easily because it probably tastes less like what I associate with like the fish
Oh
smell and
yeah,
all that.
it doesn't have the overly fishy taste that you're thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
because
haven't
yeah, I
made
know.
anything with fish in a while.
Uh, I have to say, I know, like we definitely have like fried fish over in the states, and we love we love potatoes in many forms, including fries. So it's just weird that I haven't really seen a place that does that specifically.
Probably a doghouse, though I'm not sure since there's no dog around.
Oh, the classic screen cap with the dog jumping at him in that text.
Love it.
Bonk.
Oh, and according to Wikipedia, the British tradition of eating fish battered with and fried in oil was introduced to the country by Spanish and Portuguese Jewish immigrants who spent time in the Netherlands before settling in the UK as early as the 16th century. Ah, okay, this is starting to make sense. They prepared fried fish in a manner similar to pescado frito, a Spanish dish, which, as the name straight up is just fried fish, basically. And hovering over the link, pescado frito is also called pescatito frito. Yeah, is a traditional dish from the southern coast of Spain, typically found in Andalusia, but also in Catalonia, Valencia, the Canary Islands, and the Balearic Islands. Very cool. Which is coated in flour, then fried in oil. Fish fried in sabat for dinner on Friday evenings could be eaten cold the following afternoon for celestial. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, it could be consumed the next evening. Palatable this way, as liquid vegetable oil was used rather than a hard fat such as butter. Uh, Interesting.
Yeah? Have you ever had battered fish?
I think maybe like once or twice.
Ah,
I've had beaten
No.
fish.
yeah.
Owned fish. Fish that's been utterly humiliated in playing like an online shooter. Absolutely devastated.
Dominated fish. Monster killed fish.
Doghouse, 11th Street. Okay, these are nothing.
No, okay. Weird.
Well, this is the only real option.
Oh.
What's the doghouse key? Okay.
Yep.
Use the house key.
Nice. And now I was gonna say this is some kind of adventure game logic, but at least if someone did actually do something as weird as tape their house key to the inside of the doghouse, like I wouldn't expect to look in there for a key, right? And like, who would?
Yeah,
Other
fair.
than someone like extremely thorough.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never had reason to consider actually keeping a copy of a key outside of my house, and like even when living with my family, that just did not seem a thing that ever made sense. And the thing is, I know there are other families who lived nearby who did do that. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna keep a key hidden under this plant pot. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, what if one day someone figures that out?
Yeah,
Keys for the eclipse.
I just don't get it. Like, theoretically, if you're like, oh yeah, my neighbors can come over and feed the dog or whatever, it's just give your key to the neighbors then?
Yeah, if you trust them that much, just give them a spare key,
Yeah.
or hand them a spare key when you are expecting them. When you feel like that's a thing that'll come up.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's just always struck me as this really weird thing that you see everywhere in media, so who knows?
Yeah.
Especially American media, it's like, oh yeah, everyone knows that all the people in the street keep their keys in different places in their gardens. It's like, what? Why?
Yeah, I never. I was always confused by that too, because like we weren't doing that.
And maybe it's a cultural thing that has like faded away and was prominent at some point, and everyone's just aping it.
Oh yeah, I.
'Cause
I
that
believe
happens sometimes.
Yeah. Like I know there's a growing up, there'd be references to like Bob Hope or whatever, and like I never watched any of his movies growing up until like later in life, because he wasn't that popular by the it's just the writers like loved Bob Hope or like other actors or films from like from whenever they were like growing up or were like even teenagers or whatever. But it's like those films just aren't popular right now, so it's like like you'll get a weird thing where people like my age will know about
Huh.
in passing at least, like media that we've never watched before because well cartoonists back in the day just kind of put it everywhere.
Yeah.
Is this the... Yeah, I got that one.
And
Oh,
it's not even specifically things that be relevant to the previous generation, but to generation before them. And it's all, oh, I'm putting this in because it's a thing that was in something that I watched when I was young. And then it's like
yeah,
this reference is 40 years out of date, and I do not understand it.
yeah.
Okay, I thought the X's were where you already got the keys, but no.
uh,
Wait, did I miss anything? I didn't miss that, but that was because I was trying to avoid it. Okay, I got this key.
okay, that's good.
Did I look on the other side?
Where to check? Oh, and I just now remembered the Silent Hill movies, or I've seen two of them. The first one is at least passable. It's like okay, you're kind of putting several things together, but that's fine. This came out like after several of the Silent Hill like games have come out, so having like some things mixed together is that's sure, it's fine. you know it's So it's like it's you know it's fine. Like okay,
Yeah.
I can like watch this again, maybe with some friends and some popcorn and drinks. You know, whether that be some sort of soda or something harder or whatever. Like yeah, sure I can watch this again. Silent Hill 2 was just weird. Like it
Don't you
did it
mean
kind of
Revelations 3D?
Revelations 3D. Oh my god, it was a 3D movie. Yeah, no, because it kind of aped more of Silent Hill 3, if I remember correctly. But it did everything weird. Like, it did so much weirdness with you know, the themes and you know, set forth by the third one. And it's like, okay. like like things are sure happening here. All right.
Yep.
God, I also remember the person that I said I used to watch. What was? Give me a sec to find the Twitch. But she also did some streams of like had a brilliant idea with her and fiance. I think they're fiance. I don't know if they're married yet. Fiance of just like, hey, what if we stream the Silent Hill movie on Twitch, but also on part of the screen we have the free the free use dog cam where we have video of you know their puppy just asleep, and you just get to also watch the dog. Because you know,
Yeah.
it's like free use dog cam. Let's go, and it was so good.
Yeah, there's
just
like
to
a,
watch those movies.
yeah, there's just like this plank of wood that connects those two places. Also, there's blood coming from the mailbox. What is up with
Oh.
that?
Someone's been mailing blood again.
But yeah, Silent Hill is more quietly creepy than, you know, what its contemporaries at the time.
It's not
Oh,
Loud
yeah.
Hill, James.
Yeah.
Loud Hill. I mean, isn't that just Resident Evil?
Yeah. Oh, there's this parody thing that I watched back in the day and, like, still watch now called Noisy Hill. They kind of stopped in the middle of Downpour, sadly, but yeah. It was pretty. I enjoyed it a lot, even though it's old, so there's some stuff, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
The Shattered Memories and Homecoming ones are pretty great. Are my favorite, and I just watched them a lot.
Nice. And God, anytime I think of Shattered Memories, I can't help but think of Voidbreaker's LP of it and just calling
yeah.
it Chat Mems, because it kind of at least it's interesting,
Yeah.
but it's still weird of just it like judges you based on certain things, but like all you know the psychiatrists that you see like as an intermission between the chapters or whatever, like basically everything he tells you about ends up being about sex or death, and then just like at all times everything is just either sex or death actually. It's really funny.
Aren't psychiatrists supposed to be obsessed with sex? That's a line from the Noisy Hill.
God, that's funny.
Yeah.
Because it really is just like that. Of just everything sex or death, actually. And it's like, no, actually, I think there's more to the human experience than sex or death, actually.
There's a lot more than that, but
Yeah.
some absolute hacks boil everything down to that. It's like, no.
Yeah. It's definitely a very teenage mindset. Also, it suddenly got dark. And the music is ominous.
Oh dear.
God. Whenever I say to people, "Oh yeah, I go out for walks late at night," I think they're imagining something like this.
Actually, I have to use the bathroom. Be right back, real quick.
Yeah.
Alright.
And the thing is, I have pretty good night vision, and I don't go out when it's like absolutely pitch black, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just wild that people keep jumping to the conclusion, oh, it must be terrifying out there. And like, no, not really. Like, there's a lot of lampposts. There are some nights where it's very bright out, and even then, I don't like go walking off into dark woods or down dark alleys. I just go for walks on decently lit streets, you know?
Yeah.
I just happen to do that at 3 a.m. sometimes.
Of course.
God. But every time I've brought that up to someone and they don't know me that well, they jump to some wild conclusions. Are you okay? You can't do that. You'll get hurt. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
What do you think is happening? You just like on empty streets in the middle of the night.
Obviously, that's where all the bad men are. They're in the
Yeah.
shadows. Like, some sort of ancient plague of Egypt. They just sort of...
It's like you step
The
into the shadows and you're just ripped apart by them.
Yeah, like, just like locusts. It's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, But yeah, no, it's... God, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, the sex or death thing for a second, because, that game made by, Sam... Is it Sam Let me check, Shattered Memory. I think it's Sam Barlow, because he's the same guy who did the game Her Story. And, like, I had the same problem with that game, where it just kinda... Hell, there's a part where the character who's supposed to be interrogated by the police, like, she's supposed to be, like, talking, like, making statements to the police, and you can get, like, a 6-second clip of her talking about how, oh, the old fairy tales, like the original Grimm, Brothers Grimm fairy tales, were dark and, about death and violence, and, just... And it's like, just trying to be edgy with it, and it's like, man, it's nothing. And like, but people gave it really high applause. Like, oh, this is amazing. This is, the new, inspiration for video games. And it's, even some, like, people, like, reviewers I overall respect were like, oh, I don't get it. Like, and instead of being like, oh, I don't think this is actually that interesting or doing anything, interesting with storytelling, much less in a video game. They were just like, well, I guess my gamer brain just can't understand Sam Barlow's brilliance.
Yeah. Also, something else that the Noisy Hill does is the psychiatrist in Shattered Memories, Kaufman, made him, like, a very divorced loser who, like, is bad at his job.
God, sorry. Okay, if you've never seen Shattered Memories, you may not understand why this is really funny, but you gotta trust me. It's really funny, because, yeah, that's basically just canon. He just acts like that. He's just really weird with it. Like, there's a part where, in one of the interludes, you're, like, given a picture to draw on, like, using your controller or whatever, right? And you use, different colors, and it's like, most everything goes to either sex or violence, no matter what, or he, like, if it's too colorful, according to him, he calls you juvenile, whatever, or if you, like, paint it all black, I think it also goes to talking about death. or like I think he calls you edgy actually. You just color everything black, or something close to that. It's just a weird thing overall, but yeah, no, it's just it's an interesting premise for an interlude, right? For what it's trying to do, and it could be interesting, but yeah, you just have this incredibly like divorced like man who's just like actually all of human psychology boils down to sex or death, and like, like I should know, I'm a psychiatrist, and it's like okay, man, sure. It did have some interesting design though, for like the basic enemies, and it did actually have a neat thing going on where, depending on how you play the game, it would actually change like how they look like.
Yeah.
Like if you're, I think if you're like really aggressive and good at combat, they would like the basic enemies would
There,
also become bulkier or something.
there weren't really. There wasn't combat. You just ran from things.
Oh, okay, my bad. Like I could have sworn like one of the forms wore like they wore bulkier or something. I know that at one weird play style, I think the game calls it like esoteric or something, is like makes the creatures like look really weird and have absolutely bizarre like faces. I think they have like spirals for faces or whatever. It was or something like that. It was pretty tight. I'm like that part. I'm like okay, I can appreciate that actually. But man, really weird. Some really weird decisions happen in games where some pretentious guy is given the handle, or you know, the keys to the will.
But will it be better or worse than Blooper Team? I don't think that's what they're called. I think they're called Bloober Team, but it's a blooper that they got at it.
Yeah. I think better. Like, look, this may seem mean, but I think Sam Barlow may be better than Blooper Team.
Yeah.
Just because of that one clip of the game they did, where like the little ghost of the girl can just repeatedly bonk into the walls.
God, that clip.
Like it never stops respawning her head.
Yeah, and you can just step back and forth over and over again and just have infinite girl ghosts bonking into walls.
I saw an entire playthrough of the medium. Good God, that sucked.
Yeah. Wasn't that game incredibly ableist?
Oh, good God, it's... Basically, if you were a victim of abuse, it says that you are going to be abusive. No, you cannot be better. You are worse.
Christ.
Yeah, that kinda sucks as a message.
Yep. And, like, the same person I watched a playthrough of that did a playthrough of Homecoming recently. And, like, and that person's Discord kind of agreed that Homecoming was, like, a lot better than Medium. And kind of had a better message. Even though it bungled its... Even though it really kind of bungled things, it still had, like, a better... It had, like, several better messages. And, like, yeah, definitely... Homecoming was, like, talking about family stuff and how families hurt each other.
Still never really played that one, but
First, it's still on Steam somehow. Although I heard that version is not great.
oh dear.
It's- But I do have it, actually.
Can't wait until we do Homecoming. Wait, isn't there also the... Okay, it's a different game entirely, but I know there's the PSP, Silent Hill,
That's Origins.
for some reason. Yeah, Origins.
Which I maintain probably would have been good if it wasn't trying to be a prequel. Definitely had some interesting stuff when it wasn't trying to be a prequel.
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Excuse me for a sec. I'm gonna go get some more water. Maybe a snack or something. Be safe from the weird skinless dogs that growl at you like a jaguar, and the birdmen.
Dang it, Harvey. This is why you're an attorney now. I just said that like that means anything. Also, there's a button for turning off the light. Because enemies are attracted to your light, actually.
Yeah?
So if I turn it off and walked, because making noise does attract enemies, whatever that
Yeah.
enemy is won't come to me.
Stealth.
Yeah, see? That one's not coming after me. You need this for hard mode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also you need light from the map.
Oh, woke up the dog.
Oh, huh, I went down this road? Or was I, like, close enough for it to be marked? Ah, fuck. It's locked. Okay, it's dead. Locked.
Yeah.
This is the path into the school, but we go just a little bit further, we'll see a bus. Ah, jeez. Health drink. Health drink. And hey, save point. People kind of miss the bus a lot.
Yeah, I'm totally do.
They usually just go into the school directly.
Yeah.
Ah, no, get away. What's down Bradbury Street? Nothing!
But nothing is scarier. What if we just don't put anything in there? Yeah.
What's funny is this series is actually has done several creepy empty rooms.
Yeah, it has, but you need to, like, you need to get the vibe right to do that.
Okay, Gordon. Oh, hey, this is where. Yeah, this is. No, this isn't that. This is a different place.
Mm. Can't believe you're discovering a secret, spooky area in Silent Hill 1, 20 years after the game was released.
Oh, it's locked. Okay.
Might actually a bit more than 20.
Yeah,
What year was this?
it was the 90s.
Yeah, it was the late 90s, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because I never had Silent Hill or Resident Evil, so I kind of missed out on this whole era of survival horror.
Sorry, I've been spacey at the moment, but saw something completely unrelated. Funny though. It is the mutual tweeting in Twitter. How you both polyamorous and own like stuff and just, underneath is I am a co-op and like her girlfriend reply under that of timeshare bear because her persona's a bear. It's just, I don't know. This is really funny idea of referring to yourself as a co-op workers cooperative, but of just GF for partner. But well, yeah. Sorry, I was hoping that'd be more entertaining for everyone, but I'll try to uh, wake up a bit more. Sorry, just a bit drowsier than I thought. Also, I had some like weird. Well, didn't have much plans originally because I was feeling sick, but had some did have some ideas that kind of fell under the wayside. They're still getting to me a bit. I wasn't able to eat as big as a blunt as I was planning to because someone was on the phone for an extended period of time and the just kind of chilling out. And I'm like, I didn't know if they're gonna leave or not.
School map.
Yay.
Reception, infirmary, courtyard, clock tower.
Clock tower? Nice clock tower reference. Ew.
Maybe I should stream that sometime.
Oh, clock tower is a nightmare to play. You do need a guide to get the perfect ending of that, you know?
Yeah, you do need a guide for that game.
Yeah.
So that's something you do quite a bit when you're streaming, but like people who don't do that would just get frustrated. It's not an intuitive game sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Go ahead.
it is extremely adventure game. Like, this game is kind of adventure gamey, but that game is extremely adventure gamey.
Oh yeah. Um. Like, just for an example, with like no context, that I barely remember from hearing someone talk about it. Like, there's parts where it's like other people have to die to be on the path of the good ending in like specific places. And like, if you don't know, I don't, it's like, how would you know other than trial and error?
A place with songs and sound. Silver guidepost is untapped and lost tongues awakened at the ordained order.
That sounds normal and safe.
It's written in blood. Darkness brings that choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time's door to beckon prey.
Yeah, I've had some 5 o'clocks like that.
Written in blood. Alchemy. Gold in old man's palm. The future hidden in his fist. Exchange for sage's water. Picture of a door and like 2 bodies. I don't know who drew it, but it's certainly in bad taste. Oh yeah, bullets in a school. Why not? with the question mark. Locked. Locked. Oh hey, it's the children enemy from earlier. So funny thing, these are like the second iteration of like, well, okay, they're the second sort of enemy design they made for the school area. The first we'll kind of see a bit later, but like the first apparently allegedly was like too scary, so they kind of didn't use them at all in the game.
Huh.
These are here now, but later on in the game there's like a sort of upgraded version, but in the UK they decided they didn't like that they looked like children. Answer stopped at 10. So they used that later version in the school. So technically the PAL versions are a harder version because they have a later game enemy here.
Huh.
Oh, no, not my ass.
Done.
Also, you were talking about Voidburger earlier. Back when she did, like, subtitled LPs, which were a thing, and, like, I kept up with, like, Silent Hill and her first one, which was Origins. But back when she did that, some people did, like, art for, like, the game, or the LP. And one of them was, like, of Harry just getting, just his crotch area just gone, because the children enemy just, like, grab and it looks like they're biting off your crotch.
Oh no.
Oh, and here's the first iteration I was talking about.
Is it supposed to look like that?
Yes. When I say
Like
they're...
a weird ghost?
Yeah. That make dog noises, fall over. And just kind of vanish. Yeah, that's the first iteration of the enemy that I talked about. Apparently they just made them transparent and not attack you.
Huh.
Locked. Only thing they really do is make your radio go off like there's... But otherwise, yeah.
Just spoopy little ghosts.
Lock is jammed.
I was watching Tank's stream last night with the... Like, Tank was just streaming compilation of scary videos and kept getting derailed, going, wait, let's go look at what ghost hunting equipment is on sale. Like, what are the review specs for this? Yeah, there are some wildly overpriced, like, completely worthless pieces of equipment.
Goodness. I almost forgot about ghost hunting equipment and
Yeah.
what is it? Like I know the radio thing is like it rapidly switches between radio stations to try to find the ghosts talking.
I mean, the most sophisticated one Tank was showing off was it had 3 different detection methods. It had electromagnetic fields, it had temperature, and I can't remember what the other one was. Yeah, but it also had multiple different methods of, okay, if you think there's a ghost in this area, explain to them how to communicate with this, and whatever they can control, they can use to put something on the screen. Either basically selecting letters on the screen with like a moving cursor that it can just tell to stop at any time. Selecting entire words like yes, no, or making some kind of images out of like just basically filling in pixels on a screen, and it's like, wow, this would take hours to do if there really was a ghost.
God.
And the thing is, it's like $400, and you know nobody has ever used it because you would quickly realize, oh, ghosts don't exist. If they did, this would work, and it doesn't.
God.
Because it's like the select a letter thing, like the keyboard you can have ghosts type on, will almost universally give gibberish. Because it's not picking up ghosts, it's picking up like temperature fluctuations in old buildings, or, you know, just random background radiation on the electromagnetic spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the reviews for it are just, oh, I bought this, it looks great, I've never tried it. And then you realize, this is what all ghost hunting equipment is. Nobody knows how to use it because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to go find the thumbnail for a how many 5-year-olds could you take in a fight video, and then crop out all of the like extra stuff that had been put on it, like, oh, here's our Twitter, here's our
Yeah.
Facebook, and like, no. I had to manually redo the letters, I had to flip a lot of them to make it look right. Anyway.
I'm now remembering a former friend I had in high school and early college, and like in college, just being really into ghost hunting, and me trying to like say like, hey, why would that work? Why would ghosts speak through like, you know, a whole bunch of different radio stations at once or whatever? God.
Yeah, the problem with, like, you can't
Oh.
really... Oh?
Yeah, there was like There's crying noises.
Yep. All the time to kick down the stall doors and smash whatever's in their pipe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think the ghost heard us talking
Yeah.
and got really upset.
Yeah, this is why we'd also make terrible ghost hunters.
You just upset the ghosts. Why would you do that?
Bonk. Welcome back to another episode of Stomping on Baby's Head Simulator.
Oh no.
But yeah, the thing about ghost hunting as a grift is you can't actually do it without just being like absolutely immoral. Because the kind of people you'd be exploiting to sell, like, oh yeah, this will find ghosts for sure, will be people who desperately want to believe there's an afterlife because they've lost someone in their life. And it's like, yeah.
There was like one show where they spent the majority of episodes just like disproving ghosts, if anything. There was like
Yeah.
some episodes where they like, oh, we got a real ghost, but most of the episodes, no, they didn't. And they flat out said that they didn't get a real ghost.
Yeah, you bring in like a plumber, an electrician, like all of these kind of people to look at the property and go,
There goes OBS. And it reconnected.
Oh dear. I mean,
Yeah, okay, it's working now.
oh, that's good. Yeah.
Won't open. Odd. Doesn't look locked, though. Oh boy, the first puzzle. It's written
Yeah.
in blood. Tale of birds without a voice. First flew the greedy pelican, eager for the reward, white wings flailing. Then came a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican as far as he could. A raven flies in, flying higher than the dove, just to show that he can. A swan glides in to find a peaceful spot next to another bird. Finally, out comes a crow, coming quickly to a stop, yawning and napping. Who will show the way? Who will be the key? Who will lead to the silver reward? I don't know how to open the thing, though. That's kind of
Well.
needed for the puzzle.
No.
yep. Don't worry, this piano won't come to life and attack you.
Yeah, this isn't Mario 64.
This isn't House, 1970, what year is that? 76?
You know, what was with that part in Mario 64, honestly?
Well, it is specifically a reference to the movie House, which is why I'm bringing that out. House 1977.
Oh yeah, that
It's a
horror
classic
movie.
Japanese horror movie with a lot of, like, the kind of accepted, yeah, any movie we make is going to look horrendously dated in a few years, so let's stylize it as much as possible. And so it ends up being a very visually distinctive horror movie that's still really impressive to look at, even if it's like outdated special effects. But one of the scenes is like a girl playing a piano, and the piano like clamps down on her hands and
Just a
starts
cat.
eating her, and it pulls her inside. Just a cat.
Well, that didn't
Oh,
sound
no.
good.
Oh man.
Nothing inside.
But yeah, it's a classic of Japanese horror, and Mario 64 piano is based on that.
Oh, why did they do that for like a game for like 6-year-olds.
Oh, because it's fun. Like, you know,
It's fun.
because it's fun. Because sometimes you gotta scare those kids in a way that's
Listen,
ultimately
You see
harmless.
horror tropes from all kinds of, like, Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, that has a whole Halloween zone, and half the stuff in that is references to horror movies. Like, there's little Jasons walking around. They're just Goombas.
Yeah, but those are like cute little references. They're not like piano that fucking comes to life and kills you when you get too close.
Someone got
it's
scared
ultimately
by the
harmless, though.
piano.
As scary as it is, it's not like it's nothing like
It's not
too
Mario
much for,
turning
like,
to the
young
screen
kids.
and he's got hyper realistic bloody eyes and he says, I killed them all.
Thanks, Mad
No,
Hat.
it's an evil piano.
Yeah. It scares you, and then you're like,
I
and then,
killed them? Yeah.
and then you kill them. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, between the what's this? Between a bunch of deep dives into creepypasta stuff that I've been watching lately, and iceberg videos, and the totally real creepypasta retrospective, which was very entertaining. Wolf.
Oh, that wolf. That's weirdly that comes
Wolf.
back in Silent Hill
Wolf.
3.
That's the villain. Yeah.
Yes, actually.
Yeah. Dog did it.
Nothing useful in the
This is
disc
known.
drawer.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that's known about this school, isn't this the school from Kindergarten Cop? Because that's where they got all the
Oh,
reference
yeah.
material from.
Yes, it is. God, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I love that movie growing up. I don't know why I was like, well, then again, yeah, it's kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger for kids, more or less. Which, then again, I could honestly probably write a paper if I had the energy to about like the 90s and how like not like okay, I grew up watching a lot of action movies, but like some of them were definitely like I was way too young for. But growing up in the 90s was like kind of probably the best time to have done that because a lot of those movies were kind of like fun and goofy with it. They were just like kind of goofy action movies. Compared to how things got a bit more darker overall with things like Taken and whatever the hell was going on with the Jason Statham movies. Crank? Whatever the hell was going on with that movie. God, those movies were so fucking weird. It kinda in a good way. Like, I don't really remember most of those movies, but or most of what happened in them. But like, it was sure something. And there's a coughing little ghost baby somewhere. It's kind of squeaking about. But yeah, no, it's like they were kind of reveling in being like goofy action, and like the climax of that was the last action movie, which was the smartest action movie made at that time.
Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Yeah, at the time there were some people that definitely hated it, but like it definitely had its admirers even back then. Of like, oh, this is really smart, like kind of like parody of the whole, kind of like late '80s, early '90s like action movies. And like hell, in that one, the protagonist is a young boy who's probably like I forget, like young teen or like maybe 12 or something like that, who was definitely too young but watching a whole bunch of action movies. And it's like, nothing like really too graphic or anything, and a lot of those are, just kind of like their themes you know, lighthearted. Yeah, just had a more lighthearted mood. Overall, that it's like, yeah, sure. Because, God, I know some like, yeah, no, it's just a fascinating like, the time period and what gets made in what years based on those influences, you know.
It's unlocked.
Like, oh God, remember when like every video game was about zombies?
Yeah.
Like, not just video games, just zombies kind of took over popular culture, like in an absolute dominating way. Like everything was zombies. There was Pride, Prejudice, and zombies. There was, the other classical works where they just slapped zombies in there. The Zombie Survival Guide, World War Z, or Z, if you're from places that aren't the U.S.
Statue of an old man's hand. Fish's fist is shut tight as if to never let go.
Yeah.
I hope that's a statue.
Hopefully. Nothing useful on the shelf. Oh, bullets. Distilled water. No reason to take it. Nothing useful on the shelf. Chemical.
Chemical.
Hydrochloric acid? Why is this
Yeah.
in an elementary school?
No, what?
Yeah.
That's actually a good question. Cause I was about, maybe it also has a high school component.
Yeah, in a
Maybe.
high school, that would be, yeah, sure.
Glucose. No
Because
reason to
in-
take it.
In a middle school, I think maybe.
Maybe.
Not in an
yeah.
elementary school. And I'm just
Oh, yeah.
going from my approximate, memory of ages when I encountered that in school. But
Yeah.
that doesn't quite map to the US education system. So we just had primary and secondary.
Uh,
Now we've read a riddle thing earlier about exchanging Sage's water for gold.
yeah.
Yep.
That is a chemical. It's sort of watery, but yeah.
Oh, we don't need the water. We just need this hydrochloric acid.
God.
It's the melted remains of a statue of a hand. Nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
Oh wow, that's.
Don't worry about
Sorry, I
it.
really love that because you can see the red in the hand, like the
Yeah.
remains of the hands, like the broken off parts. It's like
Yep.
red, and just him, like you can see that, and just reading Harry go. No, that's just a statue. It's just so good.
Yeah.
God. Love it when the protagonist lies to themselves in their own self-narration about
It's
what
a
they just
statue of a
did.
hand. Ignore the blood. Yeah.
Lock is jammed.
So, in writing a story in which a character at one point refers to herself as a high school dropout when asked what her education level is, because I forget America has a completely different education system, I did end up having the punchline much later on that someone corrects her Actually, that would be middle school. Yeah.
Oh no.
Like, she's intelligent. She, has a, like, what's it called? The equivalent diploma, like, that she got online.
Yeah.
She just very much did not stay in school. Yeah, we don't have that extra stage in the middle. It's just you're in primary school or you're in high school.
Yeah.
Appears to be broken.
So high school starts when you're 12.
God, that's
Well,
funny to
technically
think about
11
that
or
way.
up, but
Yeah.
Nothing appears to have happened.
for historical reasons related to Britain's 11 plus exam, which determined what kind of high school you got sent to. It's a whole mess. It was a terrible idea, but it was one of those traditions that stuck around way longer than it should have.
Mm.
And you still read about it in any British writing from before certain eras.
Waiting.
It's such a big thing. No,
Sorry, my cat just jumped onto the desk.
No.
it was just a cat.
Hey.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
she
pet
was like,
cat.
she did mess some stuff up.
Yeah,
She's also been biting me.
lovable rascal.
No. Hopefully, gently and not hard.
Mostly gently.
Yay, that's cute then.
She's kind of a biter.
That's silly.
Though she does sometimes bite hard. Through the back of the head. Oh, another wolf pick. Nothing useful. Did check out the pics over here. Dog kill something.
Goodness.
No, it's just one of those. No learning for you. Unlocked. And locked. Okay, the only thing I can think to do is to put the gold thing into the thing to make the piano open.
Yeah.
A golden sun.
Golden Sun for the Nintendo Game Boy Advance.
a silver moon.
Oh wow, who could have seen that coming? Yeah.
Yeah. Love sun and moon imagery.
Oh, there was a save point here, right? No. Well, let's just go to the piano. Okay, yep, it's open.
Nice.
There's some blood on some of the keys. Does this mean anything?
Right, now play the high wind theme.
So some of the keys seem to be broken. I think this and this. And then this and this and this. Nope, not that one. It's that one.
Yeah, this is how I make music too.
Okay, so the order of both the birds represent a color, and their order is supposed to like and like they're and like the riddle is like saying which went where. So the broken keys are just like, yeah. Okay, so the pelican came first, then a dove.
A dove.
Yes, and then raven. No, that's not it. Ah, fuck. Okay. Pelican came first, and it was greedy and wanted the reward. And then a dove was like after the pelican and went further than the pelican. Raven like flew above it just to prove it could. And then like the swan sat next to another bird. And then crow, which quickly came to a nap. No, that was the wrong button. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Managed to solve it without having to look it up.
Nice.
More Rolando Gordon. This must be a list of teachers. Silver Moon. What an odd noise.
Oh boy, love odd noises.
The hands are stopped at 5. Wait, it's still locked? It's supposed to open. Oh, you know what? I just realized. Yeah, now we go into the basement and turn on the thing. Yeah, see?
Ah.
And now the thing should open. There it goes. Odd thing to be in the school, but okay.
Where am I? Have I been here before? I don't remember this being here before.
Soundtrack is going wild though.
Oh, that's great. I had it a bit low at first, but like, I love it when the soundtrack goes wild.
It's locked. Is this different?
What are you talking about? It's totally what schools are like.
That's very different.
Oh yeah, they had one of these buildings at my school.
Yeah,
You know,
same.
you got this, you got the porta cabins. no new buildings that have been built in the last 50 years.
Rubber ball.
Rubber balls there.
Rubber balls there. It's honestly wild talking to people and going from like my childhood assumption, oh, every school has temporary buildings, you know, like porta cabins or huts or whatever you call them. And then, like, as a teenager, going, oh, not every school has these. This must just be because we're poor. And then talking to people now that I'm an adult and getting told, oh no, every school has them because there were so many cuts to education budgets.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's terrible.
I did go to school that had like temporary buildings because they were building. They weren't finished building some other parts.
Yeah, my high school didn't finish building them until some 10 years after I finished attending.
Picture card.
It took them over 20 years to build the one building they were meant.
Found a
Yes.
desk in a classroom. This is a very
Where?
different classroom.
Yeah. Oh, actually, give me a second. I may have to lay down or something. I should be back.
Yeah, that's fine.
Huh. So yeah, we're basically in the other world now. Yeah, it's in Silent Hill. There's just like this sort of second world.
Yeah, the Dark World, we've all seen it.
What's interesting is 1 and 2 had a sort of in between of the other world and like foggy normal world question mark of like sort of the foggy world, but it's dark instead of foggy. Door can't be open. Health drink. Oh. So we had to have opened it through that. Locked. Oh, there's a save point.
Yeah, perfectly safe room to save in.
Ah, the infirmary. Ah, yes, this room. Locked. What's this? Is this... What? Is this a door? There's no keyhole. If it is, there's no keyhole. Or even a knob. If I push it, it moves a bit, but it certainly won't open. What's this? In the center of the door is a horizontal slot. What is it for? It's unlocked. Oh. Stupid bugs. Hate these things. Phones. Can't use the phone.
Yeah. Oh. It's for you.
Daddy, help me. Daddy, where are you?
Cheryl!
So I talked about Whiteburger's LP. At this part, she did like this, like at that point in the LP, like in the thread for the LP, because this was back in Something Awful. Someone made like a sort of remix of Harry saying that, and so she added that into that part. Yeah. Unlocked. Nope. Fuck. Actually, I think if we go up... Don't know why it takes longer sometimes. Oh, wait, no, I'm... I thought there was gonna be a thing. I might be thinking of another thing. But yeah, we didn't search the bathrooms. Up. What? Oh, a bug. More bugs. Oh, right, that's this. This is the one I want. Huh, that's strange. We're on the second floor now. Handgun bullets. Shotgun shells. Handgun bullets. Yeah, we're on the first floor now. A shotgun. Hanging body. Why would somebody... Leonard Ryan, the monster lurks. Monster lurks? What's that supposed to mean? Fires in a wide radius. Holds up to 6 rounds. Uh... Let's go to the roof. There's a hanging key just out of reach. Strange valve. You want to open it? Drains into the wrong hole. Maybe I could look that up somehow. Well, we do have something around. He went down the drain. And it should be around here somewhere. No. Ah, there it is. Classroom key.
Yeah.
Two NW.
To northwest. Probably.
Why is school label it that way? I don't know.
Don't know.
Wait, did I go into?
Is it something on the... No? Go ahead
Did I go into the lobby?
and buy yourself some snacks.
We can't leave. And what's this? An ampule.
Well, an ampule. This will come in handy somehow.
Yeah, it's the last level of healing item.
Yeah?
Not only does it recover all health, it also makes you invulnerable for a little while.
Oh, I just noticed the school is called Midwich. Of course it is. Ah, the Midwich Cougars. Fitting if you're going around bludgeoning children to death. See, either you know this, or you're just like, yeah, sure, okay.
Okay. Alright. That fucking bugs!
That rad roach was worth one experience.
Of course. Oh right, I was just in here. Oh, another. Okay. It's this room again. Nothing inside. Aside from all the blood.
Uh-huh.
Never got stuff into a locker. Body slumped over. Second floor of library reserves. Ah, fuck that guy. Jammed. Oh, fuck.
I can't believe I forgot to really mute myself. But
Yeah.
that probably was fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I've just been shitting children. It's fine.
Oh no.
Yeah. Stomping on babies' heads. It's a callback.
To what?
Earlier in the
Never
stream.
mind. Oh, it's me. It's something I said earlier in the stream, yeah. I think I was quoting something I read in PC Zone once, where it's like, what kind of game do you expect to see in the next year that will take the industry by storm? And someone answers, Stomping on Baby's Head Simulator.
This The Monster Lurks.
Ah.
Lurks is the book's title. Chapter 3, Manifestations of Delusions. Poltergeists are among these negative emotions, like fear. Worry or stress manifests into external energy with physical effects. Nightmares, in some cases, have been shown to trigger them. However, such phenomena do not just appear to happen to just anyone. Though it's not clear why, adolescents, especially girls, are prone to such occurrences.
Yep. That is actually known, quote unquote, about poltergeists manifesting, is they do tend to be closely associated with, well, young girls, basically. it's a whole thing.
Huh.
Ghost hunting and exorcisms, like, that's all complete bunk, but you know, there are some things that people have noted as patterns and when this appears to happen, so, you know.
Hearing this, the hunter aimed with his bow and arrow and said, "I will kill the lizard." But upon meeting his opponent, he felt held back, taunting, "Who's afraid of a reptile?" At this point, the furious lizard hissed, "I'll swallow you up in a single bite." Then the huge creature attacked, jaws opened wide. With this in what the man wanted, calmly drawing his bow, he shot into the lizard's gaping mouth. Effortlessly, the arrows flew, piercing the defenseless maw, and the lizard fell down dead. This is from an old fairy tale. I remember reading it as a kid.
What a fascinating fairy tale.
Classroom key.
Man, I need to get a more comfortable chair.
Godspeed in getting a more comfortable chair.
Yeah. It's the last, like, important furniture thing to get. So I got that new bed. And that means I can actually look at things I've got in like my cardboard boxes from having moved house and go, okay, this can go under the bed, this can go on a shelf. You know?
Yeah.
Gradually actually emptying those cardboard boxes.
Yay.
Yay.
Unlocked.
Fun fact, if those surfaces and the walls were in Zelda, you could hookshot them.
Another bug.
Yeah.
It's unlocked. Room's a little different. I think I'm going back to the save point. It's like right there, so
Nice.
shotgun. Shotgun ammo. Ampule. Hold on a sec. Okay. Turn valve left. Turn valve right. Hmm.
Valve from Half-Life.
This is these are actually the valves that the Democratic Party in the U.S. turn when they're like, "Hey, should we be more or less racist?" And they turn these valves and then see how the
Yeah, you
public
have to
reacts.
keep looking at, whether it lets you walk through the room.
Yeah.
So here's a spoiler. The actual acceptable level of racism is none. They
Yeah.
don't seem to get that.
They really don't. And it's kind of buck wild that they're like, we will compete with the with the with
With the
the
racist
racism
factory.
party to be the racist factory to get some of their voters instead of like you're not gonna get their voters because they've been doing racism longer than you
Yeah.
have.
They're fine where they are, is the thing. You're not gonna get them to change.
Eh?
Yeah, why would they go to you for that?
Yeah. Oh no, I just remember Caitlyn Jenner. And like, oh, I remember hearing years ago, like, oh, she's trans. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of her before, but good for her. Then it's like, oh, she's conservative. Like, oh,
Well,
I'm like, oh.
I respect her pronouns, but I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't, like,
Like,
respect as
she's
sense,
the
yeah.
one who's part of who's involved with the leopards eating my face party, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a similar situation in the UK with the Tories and the Labour Party, with Labour increasingly just becoming a second Tory party.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
We succeeded in turning the racism dial enough.
Oh no.
Okay. Why not?
Goodness. Good job getting through that, especially with us just talking about politics and whatnot. Oh dear.
Oh. Oh boy.
Oh, I was about to say that's certainly not. This is certainly isn't a boss fight arena. So this fucking thing showed up.
So it has 2 attacks. That, and another one.
Goodness.
Ah, dang it. Wasn't fast
Oh,
enough.
okay. I was trying to decide if this beast was meant to be phallic or ionic.
Longer hearing aids at enemy to higher accuracy. Use the search to bring
To bring. Hoopering, all one word.
Ah, crap.
I love the Silent Hill. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh! We just start from here.
Oh, thank God. Yes, I'm glad Silent Hill dares the looks at the question. Can the imagery, like imagery, should imagery just be yonic or phallic? And
Nice
say
dichotomy.
yes.
What lies outside of it?
Exactly.
This series does a lot with imagery.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, if you remember, we read the book. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Attack its weak point for massive damage. Huh, sirens. Yes, siren heads out there in the fog.
Who's this?
What was that? Who the hell was that?
Where am I? That key was huge. K. Gordon, Silent Hill Southwest Block. Old Silent Hill Southwest Block. No number to show the house or anything, just Southwest Block.
You know how it goes in Southwest Block.
Huh, now it's back to being foggy.
Yeah, we're no longer in industrial hell.
Church bell, maybe? Who's ringing the bell? Lock is jammed. Jammed. Seems like the game is corralling me to a place.
Yeehaw. No weird beast running around.
Some people might call it railroading, but the occasionally seen horror trope of like you're walking down the corridor and then just like all of the like you turn back around, the corridor behind you is now sealed off. Like you walk further down and it's like, oh, there's nothing down a junction that I knew previously had things, and it's just like corralling you towards a specific area, but like just It's subtle enough that you don't immediately notice it, but as soon as you do, you go, "Oh, this is very definitely deliberate."
Yeah.
That's it. I'll go with
Yes,
the
it's
address down on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's optional. You can just not do that and miss out on the address.
What's that house in town that you can go to now?
Yeah. Also, those notes
Yeah.
that were here when it was dark but not industrial are just gone.
A fascinating shift in perspective. Now that the evil has been defeated.
Well, a evil, but maybe not the evil.
Well, the evil at the school, at least.
Unfortunately, the evil at school cannot be defeated due to school being an institution. Alright, let's drive home. Oh, yeah. And there's Kay Gordon.
No, I forget. They don't have the, like... No, I'll just alright say, they don't have, like, the sexy nurses until, like, the second game, right? This one, they're just like, oh, they're evil, but the second one, they're like, hey, what if weird monster nurses, but we're curvy?
We'll get to that.
Cool beans. 'Cause, yeah, I just... it's a fascinating decision of, like, what if nurse monsters, but curvy? And for some reason, the third game also has it.
Yeah. A lot of
And
people.
then I think they just stick around.
Yeah. A lot of people dismiss the third game, but it is really good in certain ways. There's like
Oh.
a video essay I recently watched on it.
Nice. I really loved it when I saw someone stream it. It was
Oh yeah.
really good. I didn't know that people dismissed that one. I thought it'd be 4 would be like the dismissed one because it's kind of weird and it kind of, well, I talked about it before,
Yeah,
but
Silent
it
Hill
wasn't
4,
gonna be
Silent Hill in space. You know, not well received.
For people do
I
like
don't know anything about
s- some ways. Although 3 tends to be of the original Team Silent, the one that's kind of dismissed the most. Undeservingly so.
Yeah. 3 does a lot of cool stuff. Or,
Yeah.
and it has the Benoi sort of mascot that they use in advertising all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh
that-
yeah. Yeah, I know nothing about that, but I've seen that bunny.
Yeah.
Love that bunny.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's so
weird
fucking
that
funny.
the rabbit wasn't used until 3, considering how much it's used.
Yeah. Well, I guess thematically, it has some sense of it being tied to Heather because of like, you know, she's like 17 on the cusp of like adulthood, and like her, I think you start out at an amusement park in 3,
Yeah,
so it's
kind of.
like I think there's like a media res thing going on at the start of 3, if I remember correctly.
It's a dream.
So it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, it it so like her having this like twisted like mascot character, there's like okay, like I get what you're throwing down. 'Cause, yeah, love that guy. You know what? That guy could be in more things, but the but the bunny, the the bloody mascot bunny in things, Konami, because that could feasibly have been a thing in Silent Hill, the town, for years, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, if
Good work.
they'd made a, well, presumably they have made a remake of Silent Hill 1, but if they had put the bunny just like as a thing that's around, just like, yeah, on a billboard or something, sure.
Shattered Memories
would-
was reimagining, not
Yeah,
really a remake.
I've never really played any of the Silent Hills, so I'm not exactly speaking authoritatively. I've also never played Silent Hills. Like,
Well, you can't really get that anymore.
you can't. It's not available. It is infinite. Is that the one that was briefly available and then they took down?
Yep.
It's like a demo or something.
PT.
PT.
The one Kojima made.
Yeah.
It was a really good proof of concept, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see if Discord had any gifs of the Silent Hill bunny.
No.
Oh, yeah,
it
no.
wouldn't.
They were-
Robbie
You'll
the
just get-
Rabbit.
you'll
Robbie
get-
the Rabbit.
GIFs of things relating to the word silent, things relating to the words hill, and things relating to the word rabbit.
Yeah.
You won't get that.
But yeah, no, great. What was I gonna say? My mind blanked. Womp womp. Yeah. Love that rabbit. And man, what else was I gonna say? Oh, I'll remember it hopefully at some point. Yeah. Love sorry, I keep starting a thought, but then mine's short-circuiting a bit. Static in mind. Oh, no, this wouldn't be a really good like streaming game, but like Cultist Simulator is so good.
Mm.
I'm suddenly reminded of it because of one of the. It's like a card-based game, and you have to
Oh.
like wait for things to progress.
Isn't that...
And one of the
card game?
cards is like, I forget what's. I know it has like the title or subtitle, like a static in the mind. You know, like a status effect or something.
I forget.
It's like-
Didn't the creator of that turn out to be a terrible person, or...
I don't think so. I haven't heard.
It was either that or Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, that was tabletop for sure.
It was
Okay.
Tabletop Simulator. If you're asking an either or thing, that's the guy who's terrible, and we can start talking about whatever else. Though.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
because that was the whole thing, and they never. I don't think they ever unbanned the person who brought attention to the fact like, oh hey, they're like banning people for saying that they're gay, but not people who are like incredibly homophobic in the global chat or anything. Like they. Then again, I haven't looked into it, like since learning that, but like, yeah, I still don't really trust them. And it's like such a weird thing because Tabletop Simulator was a really useful tool, and it's like, I mean, I still own it, and if like a friend wanted to play it with me, like, yeah, sure, that's it. I'd feel, it's like, would I want to stream that though and bring attention to Tabletop Sim itself? Probably not. A private thing between friends, then then yeah, sure. Like I still own it. Um, yeah, Call of Simulator, it's a fun time if you're. Oh, I mean, if if you have the right persuasion, it's a fun time. I can easily imagine some people being like, "Oh, this is boring," but it's cool, and where you're gather eldritch information. You learn of the house with no walls, and you just try to do your thing. Though I know there's endings for like, no, what if you back out from trying to ascend to godhood or whatever, and what if you just fall in love with one of your fellow cultists or whatever? Though
Uh,
I think it has an annoying thing though, where it's like I think there's like I guess it's only really annoying if you're like seeking for achievements, achievement hunting, whatever. Where it's like, oh, the achievement for like backing out and doing the romance option for like every main type of cult, based on the different principles in the setting. Which I don't really want to like spoil too much of anything. Because it's fun figuring out like the weird eldritch lore on your own. Yeah, that does kind of bug me when a game does that, though. Like, I don't know why. It's just a small thing. But like, oh yeah, here's an achievement for doing the same thing, but different, slightly different this time, or like you start out differently this time. Because I feel like it doesn't really, add much or anything. It's just like,
yeah, it's
it's a
just
bit
do the
obnoxious.
entire game again to get one achievement.
Yeah, thankfully, with how this game goes, once you know what you're doing, things can go a lot faster. But it
Yeah.
still takes some time, like to
Mhm.
to do things just by how the game's made. So it's kind of weird that aspect. Not one thing that makes me kind of laugh though, or not really laugh, what's fascinating is that early on you need to make money, right? And you can do like learn Eldritch lore to empower yourself, and you can basically make yourself like the most physically like strong person on Earth, and then just use this strength to do manual labor real damn good, and make
This
some
is
money
like an
doing that.
isekai cheat skill.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Imagine like trying to perfect your flesh through eldritch knowledge, and you're like, I'm gonna use this to make money by putting so much cargo on fucking ships. I'll be a fucking
I'm just
legend.
gonna build houses myself with my own hands and not like any magic powers.
Yeah. I think there was a DLC that added some cool options and stuff like some like great. I know like a performer like a more performer based job where you can meet up with other weirdos, have chance encounters that way. That was really cool. I forget what exactly that was called, but yeah.
I do have World of Horror.
Oh,
World of
oh,
Horror. What a
that
good
would
game.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
We'd absolutely have to put in the title like, hey, body
Yeah.
horror trigger warning.
Oh,
The
Little boy
absolutely.
thinks
horror,
he
the
into bed.
infamous eye scene,
Oh yeah, that scene.
Yeah.
which like I forget how okay I am with some kinds of gore, and then people go, "Hey, can you content warning tag this?" I'm like, oh yeah, it's World of Horror. It is. Especially that eye thing is really upsetting to a lot of people.
You
Whereas I'm just
can
going, oh, cool scene.
you can skip that scene, but it gets you like a less good
To the
ending.
bad end.
Yeah, for that scenario.
It's like, hey, you have to do surgery on your friend's eye right now, or they will die.
Oh yeah.
Your apparently gender fluid, non-binary friends, because the way the pronouns in the game work. So good for them.
Good for them.
And every run, their pronouns are randomized.
Nice.
And so you get this somewhat androgynous looking character, and people seemed at first insistent, no, that's a guy, that's a girl, and then realized after multiple playthroughs, yeah, no, this just changes at random. And the fact that specifically only this character means it seems an intentional choice.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it
Which
might
is
just be
great.
because, yeah, they're an odd variant companion because of the way that works.
Oh yeah, they're one of the better companions too.
Yeah.
Companions are basically like a perk in that game.
Yeah, there's a perk who you can sometimes sacrifice to save yourself.
Alright, looks like the church is the only place left to go. Church is also home to another meme scene.
Were you ringing that bell?
I've been expecting you. It was foretold by gyromancy.
What are you talking about?
It's
I knew
a
you'd
method of
come.
fortune telling where you look inside a submarine sandwich.
Right?
It's sillier than that.
You're talking about Cheryl.
I see.
something, tell me.
Stay back. Nothing is to be gained from floundering about at random. You must follow the path. The path of the hermit concealed by flowers.
What? What are you talking about?
Here, the flowers, a cage of peace. It can break through the walls of darkness and counteract the wrath of the underworld. These will help you. Make haste to the hospital before it's too late.
Wait, don't go yet.
Gyromancy is when you're like, okay, first you surrounded yourself with like markers that like mean words and stuff, and then you spin around and around until you get dizzy and fall over onto one of the markers. And then you keep doing this until you like make a phrase or something.
Yep.
So that's why this scene is kind of infamous.
Yep, it's kind of obscure, too.
Yeah.
And you think, other common, or more common things would have been used. Bible.
Oh yes, I saw it in the cards with cartomancy, and it's like, yeah, that's fine.
Taking
The
a,
second you say gyromancy, no one will let you live it down.
just
Yeah.
taking a screenshot of that.
Bible.
Bible. Yeah, nice. Yeah, like what other fancy? Great. I don't know the name for it, but like the tea leaves would also be fitting.
Yeah.
So it's like there's other things we could have done, but gyromancy, just spinning around and getting the
It's apparently called Tasseography, or
oh
Tasseology,
Yeah,
or Tasseomancy.
gyromancy.
There's a lot of them.
that at least sounds better than gyromancy. Lock is jammed. Lock is jammed. Newspaper. Nothing special. Collection box. Nothing inside. The fact that they went so specific.
Yeah, that too. They could have just said like it was foretold in the prophecies or something.
You could just say it was foretold.
Yeah.
It is written, only Link can defeat Ganon.
Only Ganon can defeat Link. Oh shit!
It's written, only Ganon can defeat the king. Oh. And he just swears constantly for a minute. Ah, that's such a good one. I need to
God.
find that.
The
I think it
I'm
was
not
the
sure.
Cowardly King.
God, I don't know what the YouTube poop I was referencing is called, because I just saw it years ago, and then like, okay, the whole thing, it starts with that, and then it goes on to do like the usual YouTube poop stuff until it turns out to be a dream by Zelda. And then at the end, it repeats that part, and then Zelda goes, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Like, there's still a lot of YouTube poops which have similar concepts, which is do complete nonsense. Like,
It was in like an O ship from either Quake 3 or Unreal Tournament. God, I don't know if they even exist anymore.
so there's a famous port of Pac-Man to the. No, not specifically. Is a knockoff of Pac-Man for the MSX, in which, yes, Pac-Man loudly and in a like distorted, digitized speech does just swear when he dies.
Oh, so Hubert.
Well, I'm linking it here, and I hope that it's self-evident.
God, I just remembered Pixels. And
I need to find the specific. It's extremely loud, though.
God, Pixels. I didn't see it, but I heard everything about it, and it's just like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So Cubert's role in the movie is to be like a comic relief that like pisses itself and like sort of acts like a kid and stuff like that. And then like later on, I guess Cubert dies at one point, but then later on they like, oh, give them back Cubert, and then Cubert turns into like a woman, an attractive woman, and one of the characters marries her and like has Cubert babies with her,
Christ.
and it's like, what? What?
Yeah, the optics on that are all bad. It's all bad. God. Sorry, I decided to look up in our voice chat gifs of Pixels Adam Sandler, and it sure is.
Sure
Yeah.
is.
Something that existed.
Yeah, it sure is.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Oh fuck!
around the time that movie came out, and like in a year or two after, I listened to quite a lot of like bad movie podcasts, like ones that would discuss terrible movies. And the thing is, none of them ever actually did Pixels, and it feels more like there just wasn't anything to say about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like
actually,
beyond the things everyone has pointed out about it.
I watched a podcast about it.
Hmm?
Yep.
What one? Do you
Uh,
remember?
Well, it wasn't really a podcast. It was like, fuck, I forgot.
It wasn't a podcast. It was someone ranting on a live stream.
But like, I think it was like half in the bag. But yeah, they did talk about it. That's like just whatever current movie in general, not specifically bad movies. Oh,
God.
Yeah. I kind of ended up tapped out on all of those that I actually enjoyed listening to, you know?
understandable.
Then just moved on to, I think the next one after that was the ones talking about RPGs. I cycled through a lot of podcasts, basically.
Product only available in selective areas in Silent Hill. Raw material is white Claudia, plant peculiar to the region. Manufacturer here. Dealer equals manufacturer.
Oh yeah, this part of the plot. I almost forgot about it.
Yeah. It's memo on the desk. Coroner Seals called. Officer Gucci is unlikely to be murdered. He apparently died naturally. Medical records
This
showed
is not
Officer
Gucci.
Gucci had no prior symptoms of heart disease.
Turns out it wasn't so Gucci after all.
God, yeah, that aged
They-
interestingly.
Yeah.
Nothing helpful. Oh, shotgun ammo. Sagan Street. Criterion Street. Wilson Street. Coon Street. Simmons Street.
Dean Koontz. Michael Crichton, I think, off of Jurassic Park. Is that right?
Yeah, probably. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, he is definitely like 100% the Jurassic Park guy.
Oh yeah. If I could figure out how to get Trespasser to run, I would totally try to
Oh
stream it.
god, Trespasser. Yeah, it's not exactly that stable a game. It's also not exactly that good a game, but it is infamously incomplete.
Yeah.
Like, you could see, like, they had implemented a game you could play through, but not a very good game because all of the features were just pulled out because they just weren't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is. No, we said it before and it's worth saying again. Games like that should be, getting remakes and stuff. Like,
Yeah. You
games
don't
that
remake, oh, this game sold 20 billion copies, we need to remake it every year forever.
yeah.
Like, what you do is you take a game which was good but didn't live up to its potential, or even bad but had a lot of potential, and go, what if we made it but good?
You know what?
Yeah.
I want to propose this. Remake of Homecoming. Silent Hill Homecoming. Because it had
Alright.
some good stuff buried in it. But, the game just never realized any of it. Andy's shop.
You know what? Just because that reminds me of it, shout out to the candy shops. Because the last time I went, I think I was traveling with like my brother and his family. We got some like delicious fudge and chocolates. So that was great.
Locked.
Ah.
But yeah, of all the games that could get a absolutely like amazing remake that had so much potential, like Jurassic Park Trespasser must be up there. It was so ambitious. The wildly overstretched, the their reach out exceeded their grasp. Yeah. Because the dinosaur AI was meant to react to like hundreds of variables to give them like, oh, this dinosaur is a complex system of needs. So it'll look for food and look for water and, you know, try to get safety from other dinosaurs. But in practice, it just gave them decision paralysis. So they switched it off and made them all hyper aggressive.
Yeah.
And it's like, just a few years later, you start seeing, like, actually that kind of AI, but it works.
Oh yeah.
Jurassic Park Trespasser. When was that?
98.
1998. Yeah. Because if any of that had worked at the time, it would have been mind-blowing.
God, yeah.
The unfortunate thing being, it didn't work at all. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, they tried
Honestly?
to
Sorry, go ahead.
be like an immersive sim, and couldn't really.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm less sure what my, like, one game that I go, oh, this had so much potential and should be remade would be. Because I think,
Oh.
like,
Sorry, go ahead.
no? You were going to say something about the actual game we were playing now, weren't you?
Oh, absolutely not. I just figured out what my pick would be.
Oh, in that case, yeah, go ahead. What is it?
God. One I would honestly love to see redone, but good. Because it meant so much to me growing up. Would actually be Mega Man X7. The,
Again
the
with Mega
least
Man.
loved Mega Man X. Because, they were given a very small budget. They were expected to. You're like, okay, you've been doing 2D games this whole time. We're gonna give you a little budget, and now you have to work on making like 3D levels. And some of them were all right, and were actually interesting in 3 dimensions. Like one in particular was like, oh, they completely designed this as a 2D one, but like like had to make it 3D, probably to meet a quota or something about how many 3D levels they needed. It was like, and if you're at home, I forget the name of the level, but it's the water one. Because it's like there's a boss that you can totally cheese by just uh being basically right in front of it and just like firing. Like if you're playing as Zero, you can just keep spamming your Z saber to reflect all the shots back at the boss. Or if you're playing with Axel, he has a dodge roll that like he can dash and then like roll, and while he's rolling, his hitbox is really small, and he can still fire his guns, not that accurately, but he can still fire. So he can just keep dodge rolling, and then like keep firing, and you're basically invincible. And you just cheese the entire. Well, I guess it's mid boss to be honest, but yeah. And there's, God, I get really excited about it. But yeah, it meant a lot to me. But very much the first game I played is like, oh, huh. Game designers have budgets and other things they have to worry about, huh? At like 7 years old or whatever. It's just like, huh? They have a lot on their plate, don't they? And just being able to see that in a much better light would be tight. What they had some neat idea going on with Axel's whole he can copy enemies, and for some of them transform into them or get like some aspect of their power. And they had some neat stuff with that. And like, so yeah, that one, but make it so that people appreciate it. I would have loved that. But yeah, you Mary?
Huh?
Do you have you considered what game would you want to
God, no, I have no idea.
see? Oh,
There's a
God.
lot of games from my childhood that I'd go like, yeah, this wasn't perfect, but it's good enough for what it was, And I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of severely overlooked ones. Hmm. Yeah, sorry, I just zone the hell out every time the topic changes to Mega Man X because I have zero context for it.
Sorry.
That was. There's a lot of stuff going on Wednesday that was making me just not have fun during a part of the stream, but the infinitely looping room whilst people talk about a game series I've never played much of was part of what was making me a bit weird. Like, by all means, though, like, remake the Mega Man X games that need remakes. I'm trying to think of any kind of, like, obscure one that I would actually want to remake of.
Common Prince. Obscure games.
Yeah, so, as you know, the stream that I constantly failed to do a part 2 of is King Arthur's World for Super Nintendo, but I wouldn't want an actual, like, remake of that because it's kind of a hidden gem. Like, after going back to it and going, oh no, like, I couldn't really imagine this being remade and really gaining anything.
Yeah.
So then I'd just be thinking about like weird, obscure Amiga games. But I don't think anyone but me would enjoy the thought of was bringing back Euro platformers. Carl Sagan Street.
I've never heard of that before. That's
Huh?
amazing. Carl State.
Oh no, I was
Sagan
saying on the
Street?
map, Sagan Street.
Oh.
It's Carl
okay.
Sagan. It's not the name of a game. Sorry, this is two different things. Simmons. I'd have to look that one up. No. When I'm saying Euro platformers, I'm talking about like all of these knockoff mascot platformers and stuff. Talking about like I wouldn't want more Dizzy games, but I know that series has its fans. Dizzy the Egg. If you didn't live in the UK, you will not have heard of this.
Oh, I've heard
Oh,
of that.
absolutely.
Oh,
I've never
you
heard
have.
of that.
Yeah, I grew up with an Amiga, so my knowledge of games is a bit odd. Just gonna grab a couple pictures.
Oh, damn it. Why is triangle... No, get off.
Yeah, Dizzy was kind of a weird little puzzle platformer game. You control an egg. It's just a thing.
As platformers were.
Yeah. And there's a whole series of them, like... There are like, what, at least 10 of them.
Oh wow.
Oh, no, maybe not all of them are Dizzy games. He's just in some other unrelated games. God, I'm trying to think of console games I had that I would actually want to get that kind of treatment.
You know what? Remake Hexen. Hexen
Yeah,
1.
remake
Yeah.
Hexen. Doom's had its
Yeah.
turn. Give us another Hexen.
Yeah. Especially since I know the first one had some weird back and forth
Oh,
with like the level design.
yeah, the level design is awful.
Like, let's fix that.
Yeah.
Let's make it good.
I don't think there is reloading in this game.
Huh. I mean, yeah. God, it's funny. It's just like everyone defaults to the menuing reload. I mean, for good reason, but it's just like I forget you can just reload.
Let's save and quit.
All right.
Since we're at time, basically.
Yeah, and we got to the hospital.
Hop,
You know, made some good progress.
hop, tiddle. Hop,
Hospital?
piddle.
hospital, where it's where rabbits go when they need medical help. The hospital.
Dehydration.
Oh no.
Anyway, that's
Ciao.
all for today. Join us next on Wednesday. We'll be past World of Sloth and SMTF, and then
Yeah.
The game becomes good again.
and then on this, and then on Saturday we're continuing this game.
Yay.
Yeah, hope to see you then.
See you
Yeah.
next Silent Hill Saturday.
Ciao.